Welcome to day 3 of the challenge. Are you ready to color something black? You know, when I started coloring Book of Shadows, I was expecting a lot of people to color more things in black, but I actually don't see it that often, so I thought this was a good opportunity for everybody to try. So this postcard is a page from Coloring Book of Shadows, Season of the Witch. So spooky and beautiful and haunting and dark. Memento Mori means remember you will die, which may seem like a dark sentiment, but it's right up my alley. So you can use a black colored pencil if you like. I have this new Pitt pen and I decided to use that, but basically we have black, dark green, a lighter green, a purple, and a yellow. So are you ready? Oh, and a pencil sharpener, an eraser, and an optional white pen. So that's my black Pitt artist pen. I really like them. They're nice and dark if you want to color something black. But you can definitely use a black colored pencil, a Crayola black, or any brand black. So using your choice of black implements, a pencil, a pen, I'm using my extra large black Pitt pen here. I honestly think coloring things black is a spiritual experience. So whether you're using a pencil or a pen, just take your time, block in the edges really slowly, and then fill in the middle a little bit quicker. Same tips as the first one for coloring a background with a pencil. Make sure to keep your pencil really sharp, especially as you're doing any of the edging. And the only thing I'm leaving with a white outline on this one is the little bit of the fence. So those black spiky fence things in the middle, I'm going to do a really careful job of outlining those and leaving white around them. So same as the first example, if you have a white Uniball Signo pen or some other kind of white pen, you can block that back in with white. But if you don't and you're just using a pencil or a pen, be very careful around that part to leave it in white and leave a little white outline around that. Other than that, I'm going to speed this up just a little bit, but I am just carefully blocking this in with your pen or your pencil, and just go for smooth. Take your time, enjoy the experience, and color it black because you're a witch. Of course, I'm being extra detailed around these letters here. I'm using a smaller Pitt pen. If you're using a colored pencil, just sharpen it and just do your most careful job around some of these smaller elements like this, and then you can go a little bit faster when you do the bigger areas. Remember, you will die. Remember, you will die. Is anyone else a series of unfortunate events fan, or is it just me? They go to a prep school for a while, and the motto is Memento Mori, and the sports team chants, remember, you will die. I find it to be very humorous. So at this point, I'm just really enjoying the experience. I think I'm listening to some music, or you could put on your favorite Halloween movie or something like that, and just enjoy, watch as the page fills in black around these little tiny plants. You can see I'm leaving the tiniest white highlight for the stem there. So if you have a white pen, you can draw it back in. If you don't have a white pen, be very careful like I was on that first one and leave the tiniest little white sliver along the line there, so you'll have a little bit of a stem left. Again, the white pen kind of fixes all here. If you have that, you can just draw it back in. Otherwise, it's kind of nice to be able to control your pen, slow down right here, and just leave a little bit of a white highlight. Looks nice. Same thing here for the fence. This is a little trickier, a little more detailed, but just go slow and block in a little bit of a white line around them so that fence stays in black, but it shows up against the black background. Of course, if you have the white pen, you can just draw this back in, but if you don't, just be very careful with your pen or pencil and leave a little bit of a white outline around it. Same thing on these leaves. I'm leaving a little bit for the stem and just trying to be very careful not to block in the leaves in black because they're very small. So this is the part where I slow down a little bit again, and then in the bigger spaces, I'll speed up. This page or this background took about 18 minutes with the pen to block in. Beautiful. And then again, in this detailed spot, in these little spaces, I'm just being really careful, taking my time, slowly blocking them in. Here for the candle, I wanted it to have a glow, so I just took a moment before blacking it in to block out where that light would be, and then I threw a little bit of light, which is just scribbling in yellow colored pencil, on top of those gravestones where I imagined the light. So for the right-hand side, it's on the left side. For the left-hand side, it's on the right side of the graves. Then I just filled in carefully with the black, not too scientific here, but just leaving like a little white glow around the candle where I blocked in the yellow. And then just continuing on, filling in all the little spaces. And a black background really is a sharp look, whether you use a pencil or a pen. Ta-da! Awesome. That looks so good. Here, you can be as detailed or diligent as you want, filling it in a second time. I'm not that diligent about it. I just fill it in pretty good. Any spots I missed or anything that looks a little bit rough, I go back in and I blend it in just a little bit more. But yes, that was awesome. I had a great time doing that. Here, my white Uniball Signo pen, I'm kind of fixing any of the white spots. Again, that's optional. If you're really careful with your black, you won't have to do that. Then I took a black colored pencil and I blended the black into the yellow there just to make that glow a little bit more of a fade at the edge and less harsh. A pencil does that a lot better than a pen. Cool. That looks so good. I hope you enjoyed today and come back tomorrow for the final day. The final day of the coloring challenge. So come back tomorrow. We'll color these spooky gravestones and the flowers and the greenery, and we'll finish up this awesome Memento Mori postcard that you could send to your friends to remind them that they too will die and that you love them very much. Somehow that works, doesn't it? Anyway, come back tomorrow. I'll see you then.